Okay, so we are headed down to the end of the term here. Um, this week, let's see what's left. I think I got everything set up for get the rest of your grades caught up by the week. Oh, sorry. Let me just share my screen here. Okay, you all should see the screen. So we are in week 13, which is here. So this is actually the last chapter in the book where it talks about getting started with Bootstrap. Bootstrap is sort of like a type of content management type system where you learn like the different layouts and things like that. Um, and and then the next week, well, we'll talk more about that final presentation next week. I'm going to hold that off till next week when we talk about this content management system assignment and they'll work on the final project. So we'll talk about that next week. And hopefully you all are working diligently on those final projects. Let me see here. I think I put... No, it's not there. I'm trying to figure out where I put that list at. Oh, I don't have the elements in here. Okay, so I got to get those elements in here so you'll know what is expected of you. But it's pretty much sort of like all of the work that you've been working on now. But I will get that out at the end of this call. I thought I already had it posted, but I seem to not. So, but let's talk a little bit about Bootstrap really here. Um, I actually put in some little assignments here that you can follow to learn about. There's a Bootstrap tutorial here. Um, and just a little caution here, most of you have been doing it so far. Answer part 2, your quiz is up here. And remember the discussion board is right there. So, but let's talk a little bit about Bootstrap and just in case you're unfamiliar. I'm going through the slideshow, getting started with Bootstrap. So in the Bootstrap, you want to, it's like giving you like a starter template, a Bootstrap navbar hamburger icon that you know, styling the navigation links, creating a Jumbotron. A Jumbotron is it's like the little sliding, I want to say the display of the photos up at the top. Yeah, if I'm remembering it correctly. And explaining how to style text using Bootstrap. Write a jQuery document, ready event, describe and use Bootstrap grid systems, explain how to style images, style a table, and describe a content management system. So, many of today's modern websites, as you can see, some of them some type of content management system or web framework. The most common is WordPress, but there are some other ones out there: Drupal, Joomla, and a few other. Sitecore. It's a lot of them out there that you can actually interwoven. Bootstrap is a popular front end web framework. It's used to create responsive web pages. So in the roadmap of using your website, it's you start off with a web page, your nav bar, your jumbotron, your columns, your footer, and you have classes to an about us page and a classes page. Bootstrap is popular with the mobile first, front end, and design web frameworks. It's used mainly for development. It consists of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And what it does is it provides a foundation for how to build the website, to give you kind of like a predefined style sheets and script files to make things just a little easier, because up to this point we have been doing things from scratch, which you should know, because it makes it easier when something breaks, then you know how to go in and modify it. So that's why it's good to learn how things work first before you fool around and with the different content management systems. So this is exploring Bootstrap. Here's an example here of a starter template. They always start off with the Hello World one. So what the Bootstrap framework provides is several options to integrate a navigation bar. You can have it with, it expands. It can be small, medium, large, extra large, depending on what format, what screen size you are using. And you can format the background color and link text color for a nav bar using Bootstrap as well. And you can also format the nav bar to remain at the top of the page by creating a sticky nav bar. So basically what will happen is as you're scrolling through, you will always see that nav bar because it sticks like a fixed format. So, and you've probably seen that exist somewhere. So here's an example of a Bootstrap nav bar with the Forward Fitness Club, which is from the example. And it includes 100 of predefined style rules for classes. It has like the fixed width based on the size of the viewpoint, which you learned that, and fluid class with a width of 100% because everything is off of a 100% width. And both classes are used to make an HTML element responsive. So it's just all about making it responsive to work in all viewpoints. The jumbotron is the large responsive box used to contain web page information, commonly used for like the hero image near the top of the web page. Remember I was telling you about that. It includes rounded corners, and fluid class does not use rounded corners. It spans the full width of the viewpoint. But so here is an example of a jumbotron over the top where it has a nice little header. You have your information here and learn more. You can also actually add images and things in there as well. But Bootstrap makes it easier to add responsive margins and patterns. And it's weird. It's funny because you learn how to do everything from scratch, but then after you do that, you throw all of that out, and then now everything is template based. But I think the idea, like I said before, is so that you'll be able to actually go in there and read the code and understand it. So that's what it's all about. So with the responsive images, it allows you to grow and shrink depending on the size. A lot of times now you might have like different image sizes, because when you scaling down, sometimes the image doesn't kind of like render correctly. So sometimes you might have three different sizes of that image saved. So if you're on desktop, use this one. If you're on tablet, use this one. Or if you're on mobile, use this one, and so on and so on. So you want to apply the rounded corners to the image by applying the rounded class, which is the to the image element. You've learned that on border radius. That's, the term for that one. And then align images to the left or right by using the float right or float left. So here are some of the bootstrap colors. The primary is blue, indicates the primary information. Secondary is gray, success is green. And you see how it comes down there. And you can kind of like check this out. We do know red danger, and we have different colors of how things would mean in bootstrap, and you can actually look on that as yourself. And the bootstrap framework provides many options to style buttons, and you can significantly reduce the time that it creates a responsive web page because you have predefined classes. And despite being connected to the Bootstrap style sheet, you can still create your own custom style sheet and apply it to your website. The key is to list your custom style sheet below the link to the Bootstrap CDN. Popular JavaScript library used by developers to quickly and add JavaScript functionality. You can use jQuery to select HTML page elements. And when you're writing the jQuery statements, you want to begin that statement with the $ symbol. Here are some elements that for jQuery methods for hiding an element, showing an element, fade in, out, sliding up and down, and animating an element. So Bootstrap is usually based on a grid system. It's usually 12 columns. And to use the grid system, you create a row using the row class value and then specify the number of columns needed for each row. So if there are 5 classes, then that can be used to create the rows. So it's all based off of columns. So you might have something like a 3 and then a 4, and then, and then you might want to leave a little space for padding and stuff like that. So that's how that works. And you can see how they have it set up here, with this column 1. And they may not, so this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, so some of it you might not use. You might leave some space there just for padding and things like that, so that it can be consistent and flow well. But text can be styled in many ways using Bootstrap classes. And Bootstrap provides many class volume options to style a table. Here as we start with the table tag. And if you want to style a table using a dark gray background or white text, then you apply the dark class to the table. Online systems, content management systems they basically are used to manage website content. Typically, it consists of a content management application and content delivery application. So it allows the author to add, remove, and modify content without knowing HTML. So a lot of times companies will use the web content management systems because that takes some of the work off to the developers. So if you just need to kind of like maybe update a picture or change out some content, and maybe even change a color to a button or anything simple, then it allows that you have content managers and they can handle that. So to leave the difficult, more complex stuff to the developers, and that frees up some of the work for them. So that's why they kind of like do that. Content management systems provide web developers the means to create a web design and then lock it down. So helpful and important when it comes to novice users to update web content. It takes the pressure off, like I said, by allowing multiple authors to update pages as necessary. And it provides peace of mind to the web master knowing their hard work cannot be undone. So, like we talked about before, some of the popular content management systems are WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, and those are in Sitecore. That's another one out there. Interwoven, yeah. So it's a few of them out there that you can actually, but they pretty much function the same way. So WordPress, I would say, is among the easiest. So most people more popular. This is here we are talking about the WordPress. And there's Joomla and there's Drupal. And that's pretty much it for, so basically for this assignment, you're going to just be putting some information into Bootstrap. you want to style your table and stuff like that. And I actually did put some actual go back here. I put some little tutorials over there, so in your free time, maybe go and actually try to do some of the tutorials. And by next week, I will have all of the solution files inside of I will have all the solution files inside of my document, my website, so that you can actually follow along and see, kind of like do a compare and contrast of what needs to be done. And for those of you who here's the biggie, who have been consistently attending the collaboration sessions, those points will be tallied up. Um, we have one more class. Those points will be tallied up. And at the end, those points will go on to your final project. So that gives you kind of like a leg up in getting points for that final project. And I'll make sure that the rubric thing of all the stuff that we've been doing so far, nothing to be alarmed at. If you follow the guidelines of all of the information that you've learned from chapters 1 up to 12, you shouldn't, well, chapters 2 up to 12 is not really much in one, but chapters 2 up to 12, and you should be good with that. So nothing like out of the ordinary for that. And so I now normally in the past we would do extra credit, but because I incorporated the collaborations as your extra credit, there will be no extra credit besides that extra credit. So the other ones will be requirements. So yeah, so I actually took that piece out, and that was a way to to encourage students to come to the collaboration sessions, or and if they can't, they would just listen to the recording. So that's why I did that. So next week we'll talk about wrapping up the content management system, going through that rubric a little bit more, but you'll be able to see it before then, and talking about the final project and the presentation. Now, as far as missed work, you have until um, April 29th. That is the day of the final exams. When the final exam starts that week, that Monday, I do not accept any more work. Now, you're not able to make up discussions and quizzes, but if there's some assignments that you wanted to get graded, it wasn't, you wanted to get some additional points or something like that, feel free to actually, email me and let me know. But once the final exam starts, then no more assignments will be taken. I will be grading the final projects and wrapping up with that final exam, and then that's the end of the course. So I want to make sure that you are aware that I do not accept any assignments after that date. So that we're talking April 28th, I believe, that you have to kind of like turn that work in. So no grade will be accepted after, no work will be accepted after that. So, and then that is pretty much it for me today. Didn't want to keep you long today, so I'm going to stop sharing here and see if there's any questions. We're light today, so. Any questions? Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I will actually have that rubric up so that you can actually take a look at it tomorrow. It will be up and running, and also, keep track of your collaboration points, because those points will be added to your final project. So if you missed like some of the options, those can boost up your grade. So that's something to actually look forward to. So um, I'll be around. If you need anything, feel free to reach out to me. via text or email, whichever suits you, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But other than that, that's it for me tonight. So you all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next week.